Hey everybody, Ralph Havens here. This is a big one. This is a big one. A sad pattern that I see many times that can truly stop somebody dead in their tracks from getting what they really want. And, years ago, it was 2012, December of 2012. And my friend, an acupuncturist in San Diego who knew Louise Hayes and was at her condo one Friday night and said that you've got to go see this homeopath. You got to call him up right now. He was just over here at Louise Hayes' house condo and in San Diego, and he did this presentation, and it was incredible. And I think he's got some big answers for you. And he had done a lot of deep work and had figured out how to use this very specialized version of homeopathy from, I believe from Mumbai, India, that had been passed down through generations. And he had spent a whole year or more holed up in a cabin on the Columbia River Gorge and looking at film of his clients, because he taped all of his clients. And he was just kept thinking, there's got to be something deeper here. There's got to be a pattern. There's got to be a pattern. And so he was there presenting it to a group of people in San Diego at Louise Hayes' house. And if you don't know her, I'm sure you know her, the late Louise Hayes. And so there was my acupuncturist telling me, you got to go see this guy. And he's in Portland, Oregon. And so I thought, well, I'm going to Portland tomorrow, because we were going to go visit some friends in Portland and then take the train from Portland to Seattle and take a matrix energetics class, December of 2012, the big shift month of everything. And then we're going to get on a train and go to Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and visit our friend and just have a great time. I think it was like a week and a half or more of time up there. And so I called him, and he picked up the phone on a Friday night, and he's just said, hello. And I said, wow, he's picked up the phone on a Friday night. There it is. And so I thought I was going to get his office or something. And so he said, you know what? If you're going to come to Portland, just come by my office. I'll just come. We'll do a session for you. It'll be about 3 hours. I think it's about 2.5 or 3 hours. We'll do it in Portland live, so you don't have to do it over Skype later. And you can just come. We'll meet. And I thought, wow, okay, this is going to be cool. And so I went to bed, and we had all our stuff packed. And I had the worst earache ever, so plugged up in my head and ears that I woke up about midnight, and I just told Jen, I said, I can't go. I can't get on a plane. My ears are going to explode. This will like blow out my eardrums. I can't go. You're going to have to go. You could take the matrix class. You can go to Vancouver. I just can't go. I can't get on a plane. And I was so mad. I was just mad. And I went back to bed and woke up when it was time for them to go really early in the morning, and my ears were like, they were better. And I thought, you know what? I think I can go. I'm going to go. So I went, and when I was walking to his office in Southeast Portland, I was looking around, and it was a beautiful neighborhood and trees, and it was a Sunday morning, and everybody's out getting their coffee and starting their weekend, and just beautiful trails and the forest. And I was like, oh man, someday I want to live in Portland or in the Northwest on these trails and live in this kind of neighborhood. But I don't know how I'm going to do it. And so then I did my session, and I remember he smiled and he laughed. He goes, oh, we found it. This is going away, man. This pattern of basically being attacked and abused and not getting everything and things falling apart and just stuff going on. This pattern and some other really ugly stuff that I was trying to get rid of, these rage, anxiety things. It's just stuff. But he said, this is going away. And he was laughing. And he said, here's the remedy. And so, and when they gave it to me, it made a lot of sense, because a homeopath many years before had told me this was my thing. This was my thing. I'm not going to divulge my thing, but it made perfect sense of what I do and why I do what I do. And he said, but you can't drink coffee for like a year. And I was like, oh man. And so I didn't drink coffee for over a year. And I started taking this remedy. And And then we continued on our trip. And by next April, oh, and I told him the story. Well, let me just tell you a little bit. By next April, Jen and I instantly made a decision when we heard about a workshop in Oregon, a 3-week workshop to build earthen houses. We immediately decided, let's do it. Let's do it. So we decided to do that. And then very quickly, over the next month or two, it became clear that we were going to just shut down our practice for the summer and go live in Portland and do that. And then it became clear that no, we have left San Diego, and we sold our cars, sold a lot of stuff, Airbnb'd our house. We got a tent, got a truck, 4-wheel drive truck, and we hit the road, and we were gone. We never really came back except to move stuff after that, and we were gone. And then months and months later, we ended up in Bellingham, Washington. And when I was, so dream come true stuff, I always want to live up here. And so when I was talking to that homeopath, I was telling him, yeah, I almost didn't get on this plane because I had such a bad earache. And he goes, this happens to a lot of people. They'll make an appointment, and it's kind of like they're at the doorway of, this is the answer. This is what you've been looking for. These are your dream come true times. And they look at it and they see it, and it's fear, that deep fear of what's holding them back. The thing that, oh my goodness, if I get this, it might go really bad, or something, something happens where you look in that door and you open it a little bit and you go, something stops you and you say no. And it can look like a very reasonable thing. A very reasonable thing. It can look like a big earache, like you can't get on a plane. Or it can look like, oh, you know what, I just got to wait. I got to think about my money. I got to move my money around. I don't know. Let me think about it a little bit. I better consider this, all the options. And, I only have so much money left. And I don't know if I really should do this. And, oh, you know what, I don't have the time, or I don't think I can really do it on the inside. Like, I know this would work, but it's like, people can start to make all sorts of very reasonable reasons why they can't continue to open that door and just walk in and do it. And it's sad. It's sad. It's sad when I see that, because people will talk about, oh yeah, I'll do it later. I know this is really good. I'm going to, I see that I can have what I want in life. And so I'm going to put it on my list. And I'm going to do it later. I'll do it later. I'm just too busy right now. I don't have enough money. I'm too sick. I don't have the energy. Whatever it is starts to come in as very reasonable things. And then you look back another few months, and it just becomes a distant kind of like, well, that was kind of a cool idea. Yeah, I don't know why I don't have that yet. And so it's sad. It's sad. But everybody, of course, gets to live their own life and make their own decisions. But it's the kind of thing, one thing that you might consider, because it takes a very brave person to jump. But one thing you might consider is when you open a door and you see, oh, this is possible. This can happen. I really believe this is what can work for you. Whatever it is, then if there starts to come in some thoughts and beliefs and really reasonable things of why you can't do it, you might check in with your heart and just see, is that true? Or is this a deep fear of me really getting what I want, or you getting what you really want? And then you can make a real decision and decide at that moment to either do it or not do it, but not to say, well, I'll do it later. Or, you know what, I'm going to have to set things up a little bit more before I get to do this thing. Because that's just torture, right? That's just like you keep thinking it's going to happen and you're going to do it, but years can go by like that. So this is a very, very, very powerful thing, because when you open that door and see a way out, see what to do, it's a big decision time that can be transformative. And, there can be things that maybe it's not the total answer. Maybe it's not the total answer, or it will take a lot of time at that point from that moment on, or there's another step also that needs to happen after that, or it wasn't quite the right step. But the thing is, if you start to move forward, it's a big message to yourself, to your deep inner self, that you're going to do this, and then it all starts to fall into place. It all starts to fall into place, and so that's what I have for you today. I didn't think I was going to do this message today. It just came to me this morning, and I even rushed through some of my qigong and meditation because it was like, oh, this is so important, so important. Because I actually was out in the forest yesterday with Baden and made a couple of videos, and so I was going to just put that on the internet for everybody today, and I'll still do that. But this is a big one, and so let me know what you truly want in life, and look around if you want and see what is it that would do it for you, and then see, are you going to do it, and make some decisions if you like. So message me, comment below, subscribe, share, and look for the next video that will be uploaded in a few minutes too. All right, bye everybody.